It is important here not to confuse value judgments and moralistic judgments. All of us make value judgments as to the qualities we value in life. For example, we might value honesty, freedom, or peace. Value judgments reflects our beliefs of how life can be served. We make moralistic judgments of people and behaviors that fail to support our value judgments. For example, violence is bad. People who kill others are evil. Had we been raised speaking a language that facilitated the expression of compassion, we would have learned to articulate our needs and values directly, rather than to insinuate wrongness when they have not been met. For example, instead of violence is bad, we might say instead, I'm fearful of the use of violence to resolve conflicts. I value the resolution of human conflicts through other means. The relationship between language and violence is the subject of psychology. Professor O.J. Harvey's research at the University of Colorado. He took random samples of pieces of literature from many countries around the world and tabulated the frequency of words that classify and judge people. His study shows a high correlation between frequent use of such words and frequency of incidents. It does not surprise me to hear that there is considerably less violence in cultures where people think in terms of human needs than in cultures where people label one another as good or bad and believe that the bad ones deserve to be punished. In 75% of the television programs shown during hours when American children are most likely to be watching, the hero either kills people or beats them up. This violence typically constitutes the climax of the show. Viewers, having been taught that bad guys deserve to be punished, take pleasure in watching this violence. Classifying and judging people promotes violence. At the root of much, if not all, violence, whether verbal, psychological, or physical, whether among family members, tribes, or nations, is a kind of thinking that attributes the cause of conflict to wrongness in one's adversaries, and a corresponding inability to think of oneself or others in terms of vulnerability. That is, what one might be. Feeling, fearing, yearning for, missing, etc. We saw this dangerous way of thinking during the Cold War. Our leaders viewed the USSR as an evil empire bent on destroying the American way of life. Soviet leaders referred to the people of the United States as imperialist oppressors who were trying to subjugate them. Neither side acknowledged the fear lurking behind such labels. Making comparisons. Another term of judgment is in the use of comparisons. In his book How to Make Yourself Miserable, Dan Greenberg demonstrates through humor the insidious power that comparative thinking can exert over us. He suggests that if readers have a sincere desire to make life miserable for themselves, they might learn to compare themselves to other people. For those unfamiliar with this practice, he provides a few exercises. The first one displays full-length pictures of a man and a woman who embody ideal physical beauty by contemporary media standards. Comparison are a form of judgment. Readers are instructed to take their own body measurements, compare them to the superimposed on the pictures of the attractive specimens, and dwell on the differences. This exercise produces what it promises. We start to feel miserable as we engage in these comparisons. By the time we're as depressed as we think, we turn the page to discover that the first exercise was a mere warm up. Since physical beauty is relatively superficial, Greenberg next provides an opportunity to compare themselves on something that matters: achievement. He turns the phone book and gives readers a few random individuals to compare themselves with. The first name he claims to have pulled out of the phone book is Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. Greenberg lists the languages Mozart spoke and the major pieces he had composed by the time he was a teenager. The exercise then instructs the readers to reflect on their own achievements at their current stage of life, to compare them when Mozart had accomplished by age 12 and dwell on the differences. Even readers who never emerge from the self-induced misery of this exercise might see how powerfully this type of thinking blocks compassion, both for oneself and for others.